Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Beer Garden. It has been a while, so we haven't seen you for around a month times, but we are happy to be back. Hello, Lathan. Good morning. How are you? Have you been busy recently?
Yeah, it's been very busy actually. Obviously, we had Royal Ascot over the last week or so, and
Yeah,
then a big meeting on Sunday at Sharton, which was good as well. So yeah, been good to be getting back into the rhythm of things. Been away from the beer garden for a bit, so nice to be back and trying to sprig a few winners for this Happy Valley meeting. But yes, no, been very busy. Did a few previews for Royal Ascot. Didn't go
mm,
to plan. I thought I might be able to find a few more winners, but no, it was very, very tough for a lot of punters. I feel one of those weeks where it was difficult to find the winner. But if you found some, you reap plenty of
yeah.
rewards. So Serena, you put out a few winners on throughout the carnival as well, so that was good to see. There's plenty of value. So if you did find some winners, you walked away
Yeah.
with a big hefty prize packet. So well done if you found some winners over the week because it was very, very tough.
Yeah, definitely. We also enjoyed the Royal Ascot meeting last week. So this week we return back to the Happy Valley because last Wednesday we do not have the meeting at Happy Valley, but this time we are going to have a night race catch today. Talking about the weather first, because earlier in the morning in Hong Kong there were a few showers, but maybe it will not be raining and in the evening time in Hong Kong. But hopefully the track will be keeping in the best condition for racing because I don't really like racing under the rain because it is too difficult to predict. So hopefully the weather will be fine tonight. So as usual in the beer garden, we are going to talk about the treble race 7 to race 9 and then followed by our best bet and value bet. So let us start with race 7. It is a class 4 over 1200 meters. Who do you like in this race, Nathan?
Yeah, I thought it was a tricky one to start the treble. I ended up landing with one of the favourites on top here, and that's number one, Solar Partners. I thought it was just very hard to get away from his last start win. Obviously, first up at Shartin, he's very impressive. He'd have a bit of a spell, about 100 days off, came back to Shartin over the 1400 metres, drew wide on that, as you mentioned, Shireen. We could be on a wet deck tonight, which if it does become that,
Mm,
he was on that first up. So you do get a little bit of a guide in that regard if it is wet. But his first run was on a wet deck at Shartin. I thought it was really impressive. And then subsequently came out and won really emphatically at Happy Valley on it was on May 31. So it was a bit of a let up, about a month between runs, but I think he's going well enough here. Comes here third up, gets a little bit of a weight penalty for that win, and I still think he gets into this race really well at 135 pounds, considering this field is, I think it's moderate with some horses starting to pick up some nice runs later in the season, but none as good as him. I thought his win was very impressive. Ran good time as well, ran about 108.98 on that occasion, jumped, went forward. And I think that's the difference is that in earlier preparations, you can go back through his form. He's just been a little bit negative from the gates. But if Hugh Bowman can get in the jump, press forward from 8, put
mm.
himself in a position like he did last time, he's clearly the one to beat in this race. And you get a fair enough price. I feel it around the $4. I think that's a pretty fair quote considering his last start win was very impressive. And again, I don't think he's been too hampered by the handicapper on this occasion. By Zoostar, he's a very progressive type, with just 12 starts as a 5-year-old, so he's still got plenty of upside as well. So it was good, nice to see him break his maiden. That was his first win, so he was starting to become one of those ones where you didn't want to keep investing too much. But I think he's found the right race yet again. I think he can make it back-to-back wins. The races down there, though, I thought Janot Flash is starting to pick up well back in grade. King Invincible's not far away from a win,
Mm.
but drawn 12. I mean, Purton jumps on those, so you've got to be concerned about that. He can always just jump out of the ground. And one that I think at a bit of a price you can give a spread to is number 5, Cheong Fat. I think that's a really nice chance. Draws much better this time
Yes.
than he did last time. I want to put a pen through that last run. I thought it was a little bit um, it wasn't as bad as the margin may suggest. He got beat by about 9 lengths, but I want to be forgiving of that run. Go to his run previous behind Telecom Speed, and I feel like you can get a lot better of a better guide on this guy compared to his last start. But I'm going with Solar Power on top in the first leg of the treble. I think it's very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, that's exactly. Number one solar partner, the last time winner over the same course and distance. And this time we will be ridden by Hugh Bowman again. Gate egg is not bad for him because there is not many fast horses in this race. And for me, I'm with it is number 12, Son of McPhee. The main point I'm having him is because of the weight. Because this time he will be ridden by Matthew Poon. So taking out 2 pounds, he will only be carrying 114 pounds. that will be quite a big advantage for him because Son of McPhee is a two-time winner in Hong Kong. In his previous victory in 2021 and last year, he was carrying 114 pounds or 116 pounds in his previous two wins. So maybe this time the weight is one of the biggest advantage for him. To be honest, his performance this season in Hong Kong, no matter over the all-weather or over the turf, I was quite disappointed on him. But this time, hopefully he can make some difference because the weight and also he will be breaking from gate one. So I'm quite sure that he will get well because the gates is good for him. But he does not. He didn't show any speed at all recently. But hopefully the gates will be helpful this time. And in this race, as I just said, there are not many obvious leaders here. So maybe Charming State is the leader, but Son of McPhee can stay in a good position next to the behind the leaders. And also Nathan's selection, Solar Partner can also find a good position because not many fast horses here. So I'm looking for an outsider here. That will be number 12, Son of McPhee, and Nathan goes with the last time winner, number 1, Solar Partner. So the second race we are going to talk about will be the second leg of the treble, race 8. It is a class 3 over 1650 meters. Nathan, who do you pick in race 8?
Yeah, another last start winner for me comes up here. I think this is a very, very open race as well. So we Joy's come up the favourite. I want to be solidly against that galloper. I think with the Purton factor on board and a little bit of an awkward gate there from 7, I just think it's come up a very, very short quote. I'm happy to be with a horse nearly close to double figure odds, and that's number 9, Splendid Living. Well, its win down in Class 4 was very, very impressive. It was sort of building a really nice resume back in Class 4. It won about 5 starts back and then had multiple seconds. It looked like, okay, maybe he's going back to his regular, doesn't necessarily want to win. But then I thought his win last time behind Get the Monies was a very nice win. Just sort of jumped, put himself, sat outside the leader on that occasion, didn't have to outright lead, but it was a lovely ride by Zach Purton. Just jumped outside the leader the entire 1650 at the Valley and continued to kick clear and kick clear nicely by about nearly 2 lengths on the line. He carried the top weight there, 135 pound, gets in here very, very nicely with just 120 on his back. Mick D jumps on. He's having a pretty nice run of it at the moment over in Hong Kong as well. Starting to pick up a few winners both at Sha Tin and at Happy Valley. And from barrier 8, same gate he won from last time, I think he can just jump, go forward. And the other speed in the race, natural speed, you would have to think Loyal Baby. That's the other one that generally likes to go forward and put himself in his races. So I think it's a pretty similar setup to last time. He can just jump, put himself outside the leader, or lead himself, whichever way the race unfolds. And I think he's going to take a power beating here, Splendid Living. He's starting to really, really knuckle down in his racing over in Hong Kong. And it's been a bit of a surprise to see this season. I think a lot of people would have sort of been away from this guy, but ever since he's gotten to Happy Valley, his form's just skyrocketed. He's had a few, okay runs at Sha Tin, but I think he's really found the sweet spot here. 5 starts for 2 wins and 3 minor placings at the track. So really loves Happy Valley. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. And with Mickey D jumping on board, we don't lose too much without the services of Zach Purton. So I'll go with Splendid Living on top. In a race that I do think is quite open and outside of, and you can look for some value here because I do think the favourite's worth taking on. Thought Rising from Ashes was a good first up return after a bit of a short spell. So, and I think that 6th generation form is going to hold up very nicely. So that's probably another one at a little bit of value we can bet around as well. But I'll go Splendid Living on top. As I said, you know what you're going to get from him now. And with that consistency to his name, I think you're getting a really nice price to find out.
Yeah, so number 9, Splendid Living, the last time winner, this time up to class 3 for the first time. But I think he has really good gate speed and he can still be one of the leader in this field, which will be his best riding tactic. Also having quite a good chance. Yes, I agree that there are so many runners to pick in this race, quite wide open. But finally, I decided to go with one of the favorites, which will be number 4. So we joined that written by Zach Purton. Hopefully, Zach Purton on board will be helpful for the horse because it has been quite a long time for this horse to return back to the city circuit. Recently, he kept on racing over the all-weather and also the turf track at Sha Tin for most of the time. But obviously, the mile is the best distance for him. And this time, returning back to Happy Valley, he also gets not a bad draw, gate number 7. So also with Zach Britton on board, and this horse is looking for a winner. Perhaps he's quite hungry for a winner for this whole season, I guess. And also recently in the morning he gallops well. It is quite good to see that as a 7-year-old that can keep his fitness level in at this age in the morning, because it nearly comes to the end of the season, and he also has several start already in this season. But he still keep the fitness. It is one of the best things. So I think this time with Zach Britton on board, recently he raced over the Sha Tin turf track. His performance was not bad. So I think his ability on the turf is not worse than over the all weather. So hopefully this time Zach Britton will be one of the main factor for this horse to have some better performance or even a victory. So I will go for number 4, So We Joy. And to recap, race 8, Nathan goes with number 9, Splendid Living, and I will go for number 4, So We Joy. So the last leg of the treble, race 9, another good race to watch. It will be a class 4 over 1200 meters. Nathan, who do you like in the final race of the card?
Yeah, another really tricky affair, but a really nice race with some nice progressive types, I feel. Another one that's just starting to put that picket fence together is the 1 here. And I thought, pardon me, I thought it'd be close to the favourite, that Superb Capitalist. His last 2 runs have been outstanding, just putting himself up on speed and kicking clear nicely. Does have to get the weight now with the 135 pounds, but does get some weight relief with Angus Chung jumping on board. So that's a little bit of an interesting galloper. We know what he's going to do. He's going to go forward and put himself right in the race. I thought Reward Smile would actually come up favourite here, but the one that's come up favourite, it's actually my on-top pick. That's number 6, Wonder Kid. Just loved his last 2 starts at Happy Valley. Went back to Sha Tin a few back and was very unlucky behind Rev Parisian. I wasn't sure if that form would hold up well enough, but then you look at this guy. The way he's come out the Valley has just been very, very good. He's drawn gates 11 and 10 his last 2 starts. Two back he lost to Magic Phoenix, who shows up here as well. Gets a nice weight swing on that galloper. And then ran in behind Superb Capitalist again, and he was flying home, Wonder Kid, in that race. And we saw Reward Smile in behind as well. Now drawn gate 1, they can be a lot more positive this time. Vincent Hoke keeps the ride after last time. I think they can just jump, sit in behind the leaders, and as long as they jump evenly, I think there's a decent enough tempo here with the likes of Superb Capitalist, and even E-Universe might jump across from the wide draw, and also even Victory Scholars. So I think there's a lot of speed in the race, so we can just park in behind that and then peel off late. I think Wonder Kid, I'm surprised it's come up around $4 because that's what I marked it. I thought I'd actually get a better price in the markets, considering Purton's jumped on Reward Smile. So with that in mind, I thought he was going to come up a bit of a short quote. I was honestly expecting around $3 for Reward Smile. That's why I went with Wonder Kid. But now I've seen the markets, I'm a little bit trepidatious. But I'll stick with Wonder Kid. I just love the map he gets here. Can just, as I said, just jump and put itself right in the race. It has been a little bit unlucky in the past as well. You go back to his form. He's only picked up the one he's yet to pick up a Happy Valley win, but a Hong Kong win. But I feel he's not too far away. All of his form, even go back to some of the runs at Sha Tin behind Golden Express and even Go win, Beauty Eternal. He's been riding amongst the real quality gallopers that have been up in Class 1, and even Beauty Eternal likes a Class 3 company. So Group 3 company, pardon me. So I'm happy to be with Wonder Kid on top. I just think today's the day for him to get his best run. And as I said, I think those other ones I mentioned, Superb Capitalist, Reward Smile, they've come up short enough. So I'm happy to go with the favourite, though, on top with Wonder Kid. I just think today's his day. And if he doesn't win tonight, not sure where he picks up his next win, because it looks like a really ideal setup this time.
Yeah, definitely. Finally, a good draw for number 6, Wonder Kid, gate 1 for him. So maybe because of this reason, he is now becoming the favorite in the card. Yes. 3.8, but still quite a good price as a favorite, because good draw and good jockey on board and good form, of course. Very honest, this horse. And I think this race is quite tricky because, as Nathan just mentioned, Supreme Capitalist is looking for a hat trick, good draw for him, and Reward Smile can also handle the city circuit. And also Phoenix Lights having not a bad run last time out, and also Wonder Kid, good draw for him, and Magic Phoenix, good draw for this last time winner again. But I'm thinking that I'm going with number 12, Red Elegance, because this time he will be trying the city circuits for the first time. But I'm quite sure that he can handle the sharp turn of at Happy Valley, because earlier in April, he already had a berry trial at Happy Valley. So at that time, Red Elegance had a good turn, good balance in the turn. So I think this track is also quite suitable for him. He's a debut winner at Sha Tin over the straight course, and his performance at that time was really amazing. But maybe he needs some time to handle. And but next time he also performed not bad. And last time I think there was some excuse for him because the pacing was not that favorable for him. So his performance was a little bit disappointing. But this time is different because trying a new track, new trip for the first time. Hopefully he can bounce back because recently in the track work morning he also performed quite well. So I think this as a young horse, as a just a 3-year-old, I think he's still improving. So let us give a chance for him. Never underestimate his performance at the Happy Valley. Maybe he loved the track because as a son of Tornado, many horses in Hong Kong can also handle this city circuit as well. So I will keep my eye on number 12, Red Elegance. So hopefully he is able to bounce back. So to recap, race 9, Nathan goes with number 6, Wonder Kid, and I will go with number 12, Red Elegance. So after talking about the 3 legs of the treble, let's talk about our best bet. Nathan, who do you like as your best bet for the night?
We'll try and get it done nice and early. We'll go straight to race number 1 on the program. Just the 7 horses go around, but the market says it's wide open. I tend to agree. I do think that it's a fair sort of $4 the field kind of a race. We've got Packing Hurricane, who's put 3 together and now looking for 4 wins on the trot. Above's come up the current favourite around 4.1. Hit the shots, been consistent. But the one I've got on top here is number 3, Swan Bay. Now, it might be a little part of me that wants to try and get my win because I tipped him up last time behind Young Brilliant at Sha Tin over the 1,800 metres. And I thought he was a very, very good return. By Australia, This galloper is a young, progressive 4-year-old type. Raced over in Ireland, came over to Hong Kong, and his first preparation, just put a bit of a pen through it. He did improve the entire way. He was beaten 17 lengths. He's beaten 7 lengths, and then beaten around 3 lengths by the end of his preparation behind Woodfire Bro. He then subsequently returned after a very nice trial at Happy Valley, and that trial's had many subsequent winners. Encountered won the trial at Happy Valley over 1,700 metres. The third horse was Concerto. That came out and won. And now Swan Bay, I feel like was nearly a good thing licked last time. He just sort of sat in behind. He tried to follow Young Brilliant into the race, but just had to check off heels at a crucial stage. And once he did, the race was over. He powered to the line and just missed at a big, big price, around 26-1, and I'm still upset about it. But I'm going to hopefully get my money back tonight because I love the setup here. Drawn gate 3 here with Vincent Ho on board. I think they can just jump. With a lack of tempo here, I don't necessarily see a lot of speed. I think maybe Packing Hurricane's the one that might take the luck out of the equation and just go forward. And if they do with the big weight, I think we can just park him behind from gate 3 here over the 2,200 metres. Love that distance as well. Steps up in trip. And based on that trial, we know he'll handle the city circuit. So I think there's a lot of positives here with Swan Bay. I like that it's a small field. And if it becomes a sit and sprint, I think this is the horse that we can follow with some trust. So happy to make Swan Bay my best bet of the evening, and around the $4 as well. I think we're getting a fair price for a horse. But yes, he was a big price first up, but I don't think that was a fluke. I think he's really come back a nice type here, Swan Bay. So I'll make him the best bet, and hopefully we get the job done in the first race on the card.
Yeah, so that's not a big field in the opener. So number 3, Swan Bay is now 4.7 for the win and 1.4 for the place. And I think it is quite a good price for him because last time his performance was not bad, and this time going to Happy Valley, I believe he can handle it as well. As Nathan just mentioned, he had a very good berry trial at Happy Valley before his return last time out, and I think he is a different one after gelding. But this time hopefully he can perform better than last time out, which will be a victory for him. And for me, for my best bet, I will go to race 6, number 6, Young Life Forever. And this time he finally gets a good draw. Gate number one should be very ideal for him. Recently, he had 2 seconds over the same course and distance. He was breaking from gate 6 or gate 12 last time out. So there were some excuse for him last time because the wide draw making him stay in a bad position. And he chased well in the home straight, but it was too late. But this time difference because gate 1, he may be staying in the front at the beginning of the race, which will be quite a better riding tactic for him. And he's still a maiden after 14 starts in Hong Kong. But I think Casper Fons find the best trip for him, which will be 1,200 meters at Happy Valley because he performed quite well recently after a short spell in the middle of the season. And with Harry Bentley on board, he knows the horse quite well. So I think this time is the best time. Is a golden chance for him to break the maiden in Hong Kong because of the good draw and the rivals are not having some quite good recent performance. So race 6, number 6, Young Life Forever will be my best bet for the day. And Nathan's best bet in the opener, race 1, number 3, Swan Bay. And after talking about our best bet, let's look for some outsider that we like. For our value bet, who do you pick as a value bet for the night, Nathan?
We'll go to race number 3 on the program. It's a Class 4 over the 1650. I think it's an interesting race. I think it's pretty wide open here. The bottom weight's your favourite at $5.50. Get the monies. I want to be slightly against him. I think there's a nice chance here at a big price or big-ish price. It's come up moderate price in Hong Kong totes. But if you come here in Ausbooks, you're getting around $9.50. So if you're shopping around here in Australia, I think that's a nice price. It's number 3, Pegasus Hero. Drops in grade and drops in the Class 4 for the first time since being in Hong Kong. It's been over there for a while now. It's had 18 starts in total. None of them wins in Hong Kong. So he won a few races over in Brazil before heading over. And he's been a little bit plain. There's no doubt about that. But I think outside of one run on the all-weather surface, he's been very consistent in Class 3. He's only been beaten 5 lengths, 4 lengths, 4 lengths. You go back about 4 or 5 starts ago, he actually got beat by 0.1 of a length behind Ching. Now, Ching's gone on to run really, really well in Class 3 and been very, very consistent this preparation. So if he's running into that sort of quality, it's understandable that he hasn't quite been able to turn the tables and become a first-time winner in Hong Kong. I love that he gets back in the Class 4 here. I like him back to the 1650. Hopefully the rain doesn't come. He's out of Japanese breed called Agnes Gold. So hopefully it doesn't rain because I think that might put some dampeners on his chances. So from gate 2, if they can just put themselves in the race. I thought his last start effort behind SJ Tourbillon was actually very impressive. Got back from gate 3 over the 1,800 meters, and he sort of just came up the inside rail, but he finished off really nicely. It was one of the better runs in that race, and I think that's going to be a decent form race. SJ Tourbillon was very, very impressive on that occasion. So back in the Class 4, draws well again, and if they can just be a little bit more positive and put themselves in the race with the big weight with Lyle Hewitson on board, I'm convinced this guy can run a big race at the each-way quote. And so I'm happy to have him on top here in a race where it's a race where I don't see too many progressive types that are on the rise. So I think it might be a race where we can sort of snag our maiden. Look at Happy Angel. It's been very consistent, but not be able to get that win this prep. Get the monies again. Also another one that's been right there. But you look through this field, not a lot of winners here. Even Lean Hero was a last start winner, but now he draws 12. It looks like an awkward setup. So happy to be with one on a bit of an outside chance here, considering it's a race that hasn't seen a lot of winners come out and do anything from it. So happy to be with Pegasus Hero. Looks like a very nice chance, drawn perfectly, and hopefully at around the $9 can get us a nice return on the each-way basis.
Yeah, it's interesting to have number 3 Pegasus Hero in race 3 because he's a class dropper at this time and a good draw for him. He was not beaten far recently, over the turf races. And I still remember that there's a short margin beaten by Cheng. He nearly caused a huge upset at that time, but maybe it's also proving that the mile is the best trip for him. So last time, 1,800 meters is a bit longer for him. So this time, going down to Class 4 and shorten the distance to 1650 which should be quite good for him. So that's a really interesting pick. And for my value bet, I'm going with race 4. It is a Class 4 over 1,200 meters. I quite like number 10, Joy Coming that written by Lau Hewison and breaking from gate 3. He's a lightly raised 3-year-old. When he made his debut in Hong Kong in early March, trainer Francis Lui decided to put him at Happy Valley. So maybe the trainer is quite confident on his ability over the city circuit. But obviously, it is really difficult for the newcomer, for the debutant, to have some good performance at the city circuit because the turn is too sharp and it is not easy for every horses to handle or to balance during the turn. So he was not beaten far at his debut, beaten by 4.5 lengths under Zach Burton. But later he moved to Sha Tin. Sha Tin also trying 1,200 meters and also 1,400 meters. But I think at this moment maybe he's more suitable for racing over a shorter distance. So 1,200 meters this time will be better for him. And the price now is $10. I think he can show some improvement because, as I just mentioned, he's just a 3-year-old already having 4 starts previous that before. But this is quite good to see that Lau Hewison will keep on board again because I think he knows the horse well. He partnered the horse for the morning track work recently in the morning, and the horse did show a good gallop in the morning. So I believe this 3-year-old is keep improving. And also in race 4, I think most of the main rival have some disadvantage. Maybe Sight Hero, he will be carrying the top weight, and also Mega Bonus, one of the leaders in the field is John Y. So I think Joy Coming, he also has some good speed, so gate 3 is quite ideal for him to stay in a good position, maybe behind the leader next to the rail, which will be quite ideal for him. So I'm going with number 10 in race 4 to be my value bet, and also to recap Nathan's value bet, it will be in race 3, number 3, Pegasus Hero. So that's all for our review today. We nearly cover all the races on tonight at Happy Valley. So hopefully we can bring you some winner. And once again, thank you for watching. We will see you next time for the Sha Tin preview. See you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.